Okay, so team, we have Kiran Kumar with us, who is an expert senior corporate trainer and has a 9+ years of teaching experience. Has delivered training for Angular, Node.js, Mean Full Stack, Microsoft MVC, and for basic, intermediate, and advanced level training. And he has even offered training for many of the international clients and is one of the well-known trainer and has given various seminars in colleges as well on different topics. So we have him here with us for the Node.js live training. So I will hand over the session to him and he can go ahead now. Thank you, Kiran. Thank you for being a part of iTeLearn. So team, let's start with the session. Yeah,
Yeah,
please go ahead, Kiran.
yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah. So, coming to the agenda of the session, in this session, we'll be understanding what exactly Node.js is, why do we need Node.js, what can be done with Node.js, followed by how Node.js is different from other technologies. In case if you are already an existing professional, you might experience with some of the technologies like Java, .NET, PHP, or something else. Okay. In that case, how it is different from other technologies. Okay, what can be done with Node.js? That will be the main agenda of the session. Okay, and in this session, we'll be also understanding uh, architecture of the web application, architecture of the web service, which will be called as a RESTful web services. Okay, web APIs. Okay, we'll be also understanding what exactly web application, web API. Okay, and the prerequisites for Node and our content delivery program will be the main agenda of the session. Okay, so this is the agenda. I believe you are able to hear me. Okay, can I have a quick yes? You are able to hear me, right? So can I have a quick yes so that I'll continue? Okay, with my audio.
It is clear and audible for me, Kiran. I am not really sure. Audience, can you please confirm if the audio and video is clear so that we can continue with the session? Anyone from the audience, please?
Can I have a quick yes? Rakesh, yes. Okay, raise your hand. Smita,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Okay,
right,
thanks. Yeah, we can go ahead, Kiran.
right. So first of all, let's understand what exactly Node.js. A simple thing which I want to tell you, Node.js, which is used to develop web applications and web services. This is the main thing. Why do we need to go for a Node.js? Okay. Apart from web application, it is very comfortable on developing the RESTful web services. We can also develop web applications, but major part of the Node is used for developing the RESTful services, which can be also called as a web API. In the market, you can able to see a lot of APIs. Okay, the API development is very major part in these days. So if you want to develop a web APIs in a very comfortable way, Node.js is the best choice. Okay, so first of all, let's understand why Node.js is used. Okay, what can be done with the help of Node.js? The thing you need to understand is Node.js is used to develop web applications. Okay, first of all, let's understand what is a web application. See, if you want to have an application which will be available in the network, you will be making an application in the web. Okay, a simple example, I want to work with a email system. Email system is a web application. Okay, what can be called is social networking sites are the web applications. So how they are going to be working? Okay, most of the people every day working with web application only. Let's understand. When you're talking about an application which you want to be available in the network, you need to have that application to be under a web server. I repeat, an application, if you want to make it to be available in the network, that application to be under a web server. Irrespective of anything, is it a Java based application, .NET based application, or anything. Now, an application which is available in the web server. Now, what happened, this application is available in the network. So, what is a web application? An application which is hosted in the web server. What is the web application? You can understand that an application hosted in web server. So why do we need this application to be available in the network? Okay, so advantages: make application available in the network. So this is the main purpose why you want to have your application available in the network. Understand? And next one, application available round the clock. Application available round the clock. Understand? An application completely client server architecture. This is a very important point you need to understand. So you're going to be developing what kind of applications? Client server architecture applications. This is what exactly the web application. Now, when you work with a web application, what happens? Application will be in the web server. The web server generally will be in the operating system. You will be having an operating system, right? Like Windows, Linux, etc. You will be having this application in the operating system. Then what happens? This application will be available in a dedicated computer for your what will be called access. Dedicated computer. Then what happen? You can make this application available in the network. This is what exactly a web application is. I repeat, an application which is available in the network and make it available across the different clients. Now what happen? The clients who are going to be communicating with what we call this application will be connected to HTTP. Okay, HTTP protocol as a client. This is why we need to go for a web application. Who is going to be operating our application? Client in the sense the one who is going to be operating this application. Let's say you want to have your application to be available in the network, right? So if you want to develop any web application, you will be developing with the help of a technology like Java, .NET, Node.js, etc. Right? This is what exactly web application is. Simple examples, you can say that application available round the clock, application available around the globe, and client server architecture. And one more point very important to understand: in order to access your web application, you need not to have any additional software installed in your machine. Only the plugins which are essential will be working. Otherwise, what we will be doing is we are going to be using what we call existing browsers in order to operate your application. This is what exactly a web application is. All right. So when you're talking about a Node.js, what is Node.js? See, Node.js, okay, is a framework kind of thing. It's not a completely framework kind of thing. Okay, use it to develop web application and web services. Okay, you can go to the website nodejs.org. So this is a website Node.js. Okay, so Node.js is a JavaScript runtime which is built on Google Chrome V8 JavaScript engine. This is a very important point to understand, guys. Why Node.js is very famous? Because of this point. Okay, what it is? Google Chrome V8 engine. See here, what engine is used in Google Chrome? The same engine is used by the Node.js. That is the reason Node.js is very famous. Okay, and it is also called as a event-driven non-blocking I/O model. It is also called as what? Event-driven non-blocking I/O model, which makes it lightweight and efficient. I repeat, an application will be very lightweight, very efficient. This is what exactly called as a Node.js. I repeat, Node.js is a framework used to develop web applications and web APIs, or you can call as a web services. See, you might people not heard about a web service. You might heard about something called as a web API, which will be called as a RESTful services. RESTful services. So we are going to be developing web applications and web APIs using Node.js. So why Node.js is famous comparing to other technologies in the sense? This is the point. Okay, Node.js is a JavaScript runtime which is built on Google Chrome V8 engine. That is the reason which is very famous. It is used as an event-driven, non-blocking I/O model, which makes it lightweight and efficient. What it is will be understanding in just a bit. So in the meanwhile, we understand what exactly web application is. So what is a web application? Web application is an application which will be available in the network to make your application resources available across the network. This is what exactly called as a web application. All right. Now, what is a web API or a RESTful service? When you're talking about any company, when you're talking about any company, a company has what happens, a software application. A company has a software application. Generally, application is available to only the registered customers. If you are able to understand this point, here we have a point to understand. The company application, generally when you're talking about any company application, will be operated by registered customers in that company only. This is a very important point. I repeat, when you're talking about any company, if you have any what will be called application resources, you will be operated that application by the only that company registered customers. Now the point is, the application is not available to access by another application. Very important point to understand. Okay, so the application is not available to access, okay, to other technologies, other applications developed in other technologies, using other technology. This is a very important point. This is very important point. Okay, so why? In the sense, every application architectures are different, so you can understand that you cannot operate. Now how do I do this? Very simple. We'll be having web APIs. What are this? Web API. So what is a web API? Web API is nothing but a RESTful service. Web API is a RESTful service, okay, which allow to operate by any application developed using any technology. This is what exactly called as a web API. I repeat, web application, any application developed using any technology. Right. Example. Now what happens, this kind of applications will be operated by the company, the client only. Now what they will do is they will also develop something called as a web API. I repeat, you'll be having something called as a web API. What is a web API? Web APIs are containing the application resources. Let's say this is, however you have an application, generally you will be also maintaining something called as a web APIs. Every company will also started implementing the web APIs. Now in this case, what's going to be happening, your application will be available along with the web API. Okay, this will be available within the something called as a server. Okay, you'll be having something called as a company server will be there. You will be calling as a web server, either Apache, Tomcat, JBoss kind of things. Okay, company web server will be there. Within that, you will be having all the things. All right. Now, what's going to be happening? This server will be available in one operating system. Okay, that operating system generally they'll put it into one dedicated what will be called service, etc. Okay, or in this system. Now, what's going to be happening? You can operate this application using by the clients or client application. So what do you mean by client application? Client application is again a project. Client application is again a project. Now what's going to be happening? Generally these applications will be operated by the clients. Who is going to be operating application? Client. Client in the sense registered customer. Registered customer will operate this application. This is operated by the registered customer. What about this web API? Will be operated by the client application. This is what's going to be happening. Understand? Now client application, again we have clients. So you might experience that terminology like your e-commerce business. What is e-commerce business? Anybody can sell a product. Let's say I have a company, I have my products. I can sell my products through Amazon. I can sell my products through eBay. I can sell my products through Snapdeal. How it is possible? Very simple. My company application resource is available as an API, and I'll give my API to the Amazon. Amazon will consume my API. So that what happens, Amazon will start marketing my application development, and it will be available to access by other companies. And this is what exactly web application and web API. So guys, I'll be giving you a minute of time. You can ask me any questions you have. So any questions? Guys, use the chat feature. If you want, I'll unmute you. Aarti, any questions? Maleshwari, Ramesh, Rakesh, Smita? Right. Yeah, very good. So I believe you are clear. This is what exactly the web application and web API. So we remember the concept. So what is a web application? Web application is an application available in the network. Okay, web application is an application available in the network and application available around the clock. Now web API is a service available in the web server, okay, accessible in the network. Same thing here also, available in the web server and accessible in network. So who is going to be operating web application? Generally web application will be operated by clients, or you can say end users. What about this one? Web API or web API will be operated by client application. This is what okay. So in web application generally two parties will be there. Here in this the two parties are, who are the two parties? When you're talking about this one, two parties here, server and client. Here two parties are service and consumer. Okay, so client application will be the consumer. So if you want to develop a web application, if you want to develop a web API, Node.js is the best choice. Node.js is a framework used to develop web applications and web APIs. This is what exactly Node.js is. Now, what other technologies? Okay, other technologies allow to develop web applications and web services. What are the other technologies? You can simply say that Java, .NET, PHP, etc. There are different technologies are there. Everyone is going to be offering your what will be called web application development and web API. Okay. Now, a very commonly asked interview question or anything. Now the thing is, I want to know what exactly the difference between the other technologies versus Node.js. Okay, how other technologies are different from Node.js. Very simple point you need to understand. See here, how the client and server access to be communicated. Okay, internally it is maintaining a concept called say threading. Threading is a concept. Okay, see here, Node.js versus other technologies. Okay, or you can simply call this one as say other technologies versus Node.js. See here, other technologies, which I said you right, like Java, .NET, PHP, etc. So other technologies. Okay, what happened? Uses client server architecture in multi-threaded model. Which model? Multi-threaded model. This is going to be happening in your other technologies. What's going to be happening? Multi-threaded model. Whereas Node.js, okay, uses client server request. Okay, it's not an architecture. You can say that request. Okay, request in single-threaded model. Single-threaded model. Let's understand what is a multi-threaded model. What is a multi-threaded model? I'll show you a simple example here. This is my something called as a, this is my what exactly, this is something like what will be called, I have a WhatsApp group. You can see WhatsApp. If you communicate with anyone, what happens, let's say I send a message, he replied me. Again, I send a message, he replied me. This is called as a multi-threaded model. A separate thread will be allotted for every request. In this case, what happened, see here, in multi-threaded model. In multi-threaded model, what happens, an independent, okay, thread gets created for every client request. This is what's going to be happening. This is how it's going to be working. A simple example, you can see that. Let's say book my show. So we have a website called as a book my show, where we can book a ticket. Let's say in this case, what happens, when I book a ticket, for booking a ticket, it is going to be giving me a 5 minutes time. In that 5 minutes time, I need to complete my process. In that process, what happens, whatever the ticket which I'm trying to book, that will be locked. I repeat, the ticket will be locked for specified time. In that time, if I book the ticket, what happens, the ticket will be allotted to me. Otherwise, the ticket will be open. This is what exactly called as a multi-threaded model. Let's say I'll tell you a simple example. While ticket booking, okay, the selected ticket, okay, will be locked for specified duration. Let's say the duration was example, it can be 10 minutes. So in that 10 minutes, you need to book the ticket. I repeat, you can understand that the ticket, okay, the ticket, what I mean to say that the selected ticket, okay, will be locked and not available to others. Understand guys? This is what exactly multi-threaded model. Understand? So this will be locked. Whereas in single-threaded model, it's not like this. So if it is available, immediately booked. Okay, here the option is, here advantage is what we can say that client can choose the ticket which to be booked. This is the facility what we have in your what will be called as a multi-threaded model. Major applications, okay, which is very important kind of things will be preferred in this kind. So this is called as a multi-threaded models. Understand? Whereas coming to this is a single-threaded model. Okay, in this model, what happens? You know, in this model, okay, the request will be taken and processed asynchronously. What do you mean by asynchronously? It will not wait anything, no waiting. It will directly book a ticket. Okay, the available in this model, what happens? You know, the available, okay, the available ticket will be booked. I'm sorry, actually today I'm getting a continuous spelling mistake for available. Okay, the available ticket will be booked. No concept of locking. I repeat, no locking concept. This is what exactly called as a single-threaded model. I repeat, guys, single-threaded model. What's going to be happening? You know, yeah. But API goes with other tools also, right? Yes, of course. API is communicated with another tools also. 100% is available. But API architecture, if it is based on the Node.js, it will be single-threaded model, right? So this is what exactly. Example, you can say that Uber. Okay, ticket booking. When you want to buy an Uber ticket booking, what happens? You know, when you choose a source and destination, the available taxi will be booked. You don't have the chance to select a taxi. You don't have a chance to select a driver. So in this case, what happens? You know, available ticket booking will be happen. This is what exactly single-threaded model, and it will be very faster. Okay, very effective. This is what exactly the difference between other technologies and Node.js. Right, yes. So guys, this is a small introduction what exactly Node.js is. Okay, guys, you can ask me any questions. I'll give you unmute. Okay, Maleshwari, you have a question. Yeah, but API goes with other technologies. Yes, yes, yes. Every tool will also have. So any other questions, guys? So I'll be giving you a minute of time. Please ask me any questions. Ramesh, Arti, Rakesh, Smita, any questions? So we can't use Node.js for ticket booking systems. Yeah, Rakesh, we can book, Rakesh. But the concept is we don't have choice to select. Here asynchronous access will be there. Okay, Rakesh, it's you can do it. In case if you want to have such kind of things, we have to go from asynchronous to synchronous access. But it is not preferred in the asynchronous. Okay, Rakesh, I believe you are clear. Right? Very good. Maybe asynchronous awaits. Yes, I said you right. Yes, Rakesh. In the asynchronous, what happens? You know, you are going to be using the promises, observables, etc. to come out from the asynchronous access. When you're talking about a asynchronous access, what happens? You know, it will not wait to do such kind of things. The whatever the request you give, that will be processed. Okay, you can use async, you can use await, or you can use JavaScript promises. You can use observables to come out from this one. But it is preferred in the form of asynchronous, right? Good. So this is a small, yeah. So web APIs are only available in RESTful service model and not in others. See, web API itself is a RESTful service. Okay, when you're talking about a web API is an official name for RESTful service. Web APIs and RESTful services not indifferent. Okay, so web APIs are the RESTful services which are going to be exposing the content to outside, so the clients will operate the application, right? So let's say Amazon is there. Amazon is not going to be selling any product. Amazon is a broker. Amazon is an agent. Okay, so the companies will expose web APIs. Amazon consume the web API. Understand? Using that web API, the request will be processed. For that, Amazon is going to be taking a commission. This is what I exactly call as a APIs. Smita, I believe you are clear with that out. Right. Good. So let me go to my document. A small introduction to what will be called web application. One more minute, guys. Yeah. This is client server architecture. I have shown you what is a client server architecture. Are we going to use Express happy with the Node.js for web API? See, yeah, we are going to be using Express.js only. Web API, yeah, we are going to be using Express.js. Why? Because Express.js is very comfortable. Okay, allowed to debug the services very comfortable. We'll have good number of API methods and all. Okay, Rakesh, we are going to be using Express. Okay, so Express.js is used for developing web API. We are not going to be using happy. We are going to be using Express.js. See, Maleshwari, you are asking about a difference between the Node.js and Angular. See, Node.js is a framework here. Node.js is a framework. Okay, and Angular is a specification. Okay, Angular is a specification, and Angular is for developing web applications above Node.js. Okay, Angular is going to be developing web applications above Node.js. Angular is working above Node. Okay, right. So this is a simple example, simple difference between the client and server architecture. Okay, so different clients will be there. Okay, the client can be either mobile, it can be web application, or it can be anything, irrespective of anything. Okay, the clients communicate to server, server communicates to database, and it will respond to the client by rendering. Okay, so other technologies which are supporting client server architecture is Java, .NET, PHP, etc. Right. Then coming here, technology provides client server architecture, I said you right. So by default, .NET, Java, PHP, etc. are going to be providing what will be called multi-threaded model. Here, each and every request will be what will be called maintained independently. Okay, each and every request will be maintained using a thread. A thread gets created internally. So multi-threaded model, multiple threads will be available. Multi-threaded model, multiple threads will be available. This is what exactly called a multi-threaded model. So coming to the Node.js, as I said you right, it's completely single-threaded model. In this concept, you are not going to be having multiple threads. What happens, you know, a single thread gets created. You'll be having only one thread gets created. Initially, all requests will be provided in the event queue. There's a internal Node.js architecture contains a component called as the event queue. Okay, every request will be whenever it is emitted from the client. Emitting in the sense like when you submit any request, generally we call it as a postback, right? In Node, what happens, you know, whenever the user is postback, emit, the request will be provided in the queue. The request will be provided in the queue. Now, in the queue, all the requests will be submitted asynchronously. What do you mean by asynchronous? Asynchronous in the sense, every definition will be executed without waiting. Okay, let's say I instructed two things. So when I instruct the first one, my first instruction itself will process. It will not wait till the what will be called process completes. So when the first instruction starts executing, parallelly second instruction also will start executing. This is called as a asynchronous access. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly asynchronous. See, in this case, let's say I have something called as a I have what will be called as a instruction 1. Okay, I have instruction 2. Now in this case, what happens, you know, let's say this instruction has 1,000 statements, 10,000 statements. When I request this instruction, okay, it will start processing. Understand? It will start process. Now what's going to be happening, you know, it will not wait for the second instruction will not wait till the first one is processed. Okay, so here what happens, you know, this will be also processed, and this is called as a asynchronous. What do you mean by asynchronous? Asynchronous in the sense, what are all the instructions you give, that will be processed immediately. So I mean to say that second instruction will not wait till the process is going to be completing. In case if you want to have such kind of things, what we will do is we'll have something called as a async await. Okay, async await is there, you can make it. Okay, you have something called as a promises are there, you have something called as a observables. Okay, by using this additional facilities, you can make it more effective than multi-threading. We don't have multi-threading. This is completely single threading only. I repeat guys, when you give an instruction, what happens? The instruction will be immediately executed. You will not be waited for the second completion of this instruction to start the second one. This is called as AJAX, asynchronous access. Right, in that asynchronous access, if you want to have some hold, if you want to have some conditions, if you want to have some steps, then that time you'll be using async await, async promises. Okay, you'll be having something called say observables, which will be covered in detail in our program. So this is what exactly called as a asynchronous access. And Node.js is going to be working with a single threaded model. Each and every request will be initially, whenever it is emitted, it will be carried into the event queue. Event queue is a hold where all the instructions will be there. So where these instructions? These instructions will be maintained in a place called as a event queue. It's a queue. Okay, in this queue all instructions will come and each and every instructions will be processed. So when the first, let's say I have 10 professionals with me. I have 10 professionals with me. So when I instruct one professional, he will start doing his work. When I instruct the second professional, what it means? Second professional is not waiting till the first professional completes his work. So he is going to be doing his own work in his own style. So 1, 2, 3, everything is going to be executing asynchronously. What it is? Asynchronously. Asynchronously in the sense it's going to be okay. When you're talking about a multi-threaded, what happens? A separate thread gets created. Here no thread, all will be happen in the single threaded. This is what exactly single threaded. Here you'll be having event queue. In the event queue, single thread will be processed. Same thread will start sending the execution. Now thread pool will take care of all the things. It will execute, and you will be getting the asynchronous access. Right. You might ask a question: what are major companies using this? Nowadays, not 1, 2, 3. Every company is going to be using what will be called Node.js kind of applications. Generally, what happens? You will be having a lot of what will be called resources. Some part of the resources will be with your existing model, and some part will be obviously with the Node.js. Best example which are going to be using Node.js in the real time is Uber. Uber is completely using the Node.js. All right. So PayPal, they are using Node.js. GoDaddy website. So when you book a website using GoDaddy, see within a few seconds itself, a location will be alerted to you. A location will be alerted to you. LinkedIn is going to be using most of the part execution in your Node.js. Okay, like what will be called e-commerce websites, like eBay is using Node.js. Netflix. Okay, there are many companies. Not 1, 2, 3. There are many companies. I found some questions. Yeah, I cleared all the questions. All right. This is a small introduction to Node.js, right? There are a lot of companies are there, okay, which are going to be completely based on the Node.js. Now, not only that, most of the UI development is happening about Node.js. Okay, I said you what is the difference between the multi-threaded and single-threaded model. Okay. Now, most of the UI development. Okay, so UI development maximum people are preferring what will be called Node.js only. Okay, most of the companies are preferring UI development with Node. Okay, what do you mean by UI development? Application developed at UI itself. Application available at UI. Okay, so when you're talking about a front-end development and UI development, front-end development and UI development, the application will be deployed in the client computer in the browser itself. I repeat, an application will be deployed in the browser to make it more and more effective, which will be called as a front-end development or UI development. You might experience this term called as a SPA, single page application. The application will be deployed in the client in the form of a JS files. Right, that is what exactly possible with the help of the UI development. So the term called as a UI development and front-end development. What do you mean by front-end development or UI development? The application gets deployed in the client browser whenever the request happens. If you request to the client, what happens? The application will be deployed in the client. When you give a URL, the URL associated files will be added to your browser. The files will be very small, KBs. Right, this is what exactly the advantage of UI development. So here some of the advantages which are in the UI development. Application will be deployed in the browser in the form of a JavaScript files. Okay, cross-platform applications available across the operating systems like Linux, Mac, Windows, etc. Yeah, I found some questions here. Right. Node.js is not front-end. Malaysia, Node.js is server. The application working in the Node.js will be developed in the front-end. Node.js is completely back-end. Okay, Node.js is for Node.js is for backend development. Right. It's not fun. So cross-platform application available across the operating systems. In order to develop any UI development, you can be in any operating system. I need not to demand you to come to Windows operating system, or I need not to demand you to come to Linux. Okay, different types of applications in there. Which one in UI development? In UI development, you can develop a web applications, web APIs, which will be RESTful services, console application. Okay, nowadays what happens? Desktop applications also available. Okay, desktop applications are also allowing to develop with these facilities. Right, open source. It's completely open source. And the best advantage you need to know is the communication in the UI development will be happen using JSON formats. It will be available in the JSON. You will not be using any XML. You will not be using anything other than JSON. Irrespective of any formats can communicate. So this is a simple thing which is related to your UI development. And in UI development, which are the tools we are going to be using in real time is, you should know what exactly Node.js. Will be working with Node.js framework. User interface screens, we are not going to be taking any inbuilt support. We'll take directly the HTML. So Node.js has some internal resources where it can program the HTML. We can apply styles using CSS. We'll be going to be using client-side scripting with only JavaScript, object-oriented with ECMAScripts, DOM manipulation using jQuery, RESTful services using Express, non-structured data using NoSQL MongoDB, structured data using RDBMS MySQL, front-end development, either it can be Angular, React, Vue, Backbone, responsive website designing will be using with Bootstrap, RX components we are going to be using in case if you want, JSON completely a format which will be maintained in communication to the communication between two parties. Okay, and best IDs are there like Visual Studio, etc. So these are generally commonly used in your UI development. Okay, so UI development is nothing but a front-end development which will make your application development more and more effective, right? So this is a small introduction, and you can come for doubts. Okay, starting from first participant, I'll give you the content plan. Yes, I'm sure I'll give you the content plan. So Aarti, any questions? Maleshwari, Parmesh, Peng, Rakesh, Rupal, Smita, Suresh, and I forgot, I'm not able to pronounce the last one. When? So any questions? Yes. Yes, we'll be covering a lot of information, which is essential. See, if you go for any real-time professional, you cannot be with a single thing here. You need to know a lot of concepts. We'll be going to be covering most of them with a lot of information. Okay, and that is about our today's program. Then let's see what is the content we are going to be providing. So this is Node.js here. Content what we are going to be covering is, okay. So initially we'll be working with web basic in detail. Okay, whatever we have been covered, that will be keep on working from today. I mean from first class to last class. We should know that one. Okay, and Node.js architecture, how this architecture includes, and what are the internal things are there, that will be covered in detail. IDEs which are used in Node.js will be working with Visual Studio. Okay, see guys, you go to your website and type this one nodejs.org. When you click here, you will be getting the Node.js advanced version. Current version will be available. This is very important. Go for the current. And next one, Visual Studio downloads. So you have something called code. Visual Studio Code. We are going to be working with Visual Studio Code. This is the ID which we are going to be working. It is inbuilt with, it is inbuilt with internal Microsoft facilities, which will be very comfortable in developing UI development All UI developments, Angular, React, Node, everybody is using this IDE, and these are free. You can download. We are going to be working with this. And here NPM working with Node Package Manager, understanding what will be called Node packages. Okay, so external packages, how to install external packages. Then client-side scripting with JavaScript, all the basic programming from the scratch to advanced. We'll be working with asynchronous access in detail, different JavaScript examples, like working with JavaScript statements, working with JavaScript keywords, control structures, functions in detail, callbacks. Okay, we'll be also working FEs, IFEs, modules. Okay, working with JSON in detail will be there. TypeScript is used for backend in Node.js or only for Angular. See, it's not like only for Angular or something. Yeah, TypeScript is a object-oriented programming. You need to be very clear that Node.js will understand only JavaScript. Node.js cannot understandable by any other language. But if you want to implement OOPs, OOPs are available only with TypeScript. Okay, I repeat, TypeScript. So TypeScript is a transpiler. Is a transpiler. You can say transpiler used to write OOPs and convert into JavaScript for Node.js. I believe this is very clear to you. So Node.js will not understand TypeScript. Angular will not understand TypeScript. We are writing TypeScript to implement OOPs. The TypeScript will transpile the TypeScript to JS. Node.js will understand JavaScript. So TypeScript is used in all the places. Node.js, Angular, Vue, Backbone. But originally, what a TypeScript will do is the OOP syntax will be converted into JavaScript. RP, I believe I cleared your doubt. All right. And also we'll be covering JSON in detail, like creating JSON objects, assigning JSON objects to variables, JSON array object with the independent ID objects. Everything will be covering. Then HTML, we'll be also covering HTML in detail with HTML5. Okay, CSS3 will be there, Bootstrap 4 will be there. Okay, I want my application to be more and more effective. Then Node.js in detail will be there. Okay, and working with cors, working with underscore will be covering. What is the difference between JavaScript and JSON? See, JavaScript is a programming syntax. JSON is an object storing format. I want to have what will be called a group of records to be stored. In that case, you will be using JavaScript object. Okay, so JSON is what will be called. You can open this website and you can get good information about JSON. Okay, JSON is what will be called JavaScript object notation. It's a lightweight data interchange format. Very easy to write and maintain data for objects which are commonly understood by UI technologies. When you go for any UI technologies, so you'll be using this. Whereas JavaScript is a syntax for programming. Understand? This is what exactly the JSON and JavaScript. Right. Very good. So we'll be covering JSON in detail, then programming basics using JavaScript, Node.js. Underscore also will be covering, which is equivalent to your link queue. Cors, which makes your application available across the network, will make our application available in the net client server architecture. We'll be working with Express.js. Okay, we'll be working with MongoDB. We'll be working with Mongoose. Okay, EJS also will cover. Okay, we are not going to be using Angular or something. We'll be using EJS, UI programming, CRUD operations on the forms with EJS. Routing will be there. Authentication also will be covered. All right, this is a prerequisite for every UI development. In case if you go for an Angular, Vue, Backbone, etc., there we go. While JSON can store the data, then what is the use of JSON and MySQL? See, JSON is a temporary, POJO you mean, right? A programmable storage. It's not a permanent storage. It's a programmable storage. Okay. So JSON is a format. Okay, format to store data in the non-structured records temporarily. Okay, whereas MySQL is a structured database to store data permanently. So JSON is not a permanent storage area, it's a programmable temporary storage area. JSON is not a programmable, it's not a permanent, it's a temporary storage area. If you want, you can store it in JSON files also. So MySQL is a completely RDB mess. MySQL is completely RDB mess. And NoSQL, if you want to store, I mean to say JSON, if you want to store permanently, you'll be using MongoDB, which will be called as a document database. Understand? Guys, I believe you cleared your doubts. Okay. So we given a very good introduction session. Okay. So further, I mean, I have another couple of minutes time. You can ask me any questions. Suresh. So I cleared all the doubts. Yes. Good. Very good. So no questions. All right. Nice. Right. So that is about a small introduction related to your Node.js. So let me check any other questions are pending. Suresh, you will not be having an independent project here. A real-time project concept, which is concepts which are commonly used in all projects, will be covered. So you'll be having a what will be called real-time project concepts. Real-time project concepts with what will be called with examples suit in all projects. Common tasks, which we can call. Common tasks will be covered. Right? Right. So done. That is about our today's session. So we'll continue in the next session. Right. So thank you so much, guys. Right. In case if you have any issues, you can reach to our contact. Thank you then. Welcome. Bye, guys.